So let's talk about moving files around. Your pictures and videos are more likely to be stored on your phone and your camera, like a GoPro, a mirrorless camera, and things like that, versus your iPad or tablet. In theory, I guess they could be on your iPad or tablet, but more than likely, they're on your iPhone or mirrorless camera, because that's what we normally use to take pictures with while we're out and about. I've already told you that I believe using an external SSD drive is by far the best method to keep and store your media, even when editing. The reason I said this is video files are huge, and it won't take long before your iPhone or iPad is totally full. It also allows you to archive the raw footage even after you've finished uploading your videos to YouTube or social media or wherever you're putting them. Doing this also allows you to catalog the files, making them easier to find at a later date. This also means that you don't need the internet or cellular service to retrieve your files for editing like you would if they're stored on the cloud system. So for example, you could be on a long-haul flight or stuck in an airport, and you can carry on editing without having Wi-Fi or cellular service. However, let's take a look at different methods for moving files around in case you want to or you need to have the files moved from your iPhone to your iPad, and maybe because you want to use a larger screen for editing. A lot of people like to store their photos and videos on a cloud service like iCloud. However, if you're making movies and films, the file sizes are huge. For example, if you're shooting in full Apple ProRes, 1 minute of video is about 6 gigabytes of data. If you're just keeping normal family videos and photos stored to a cloud, as long as you have a big enough storage plan, that's fine. But as you can see, if you have a lot of video, a 2 terabyte iCloud storage plan is $10 a month, or about $120 a year.
Please don't take the photos and videos from my cloud. I'll have nothing to look at when I'm charging. I love seeing your little fat face. By the way, a smile would be nice from time to time.
Don't listen to her. Plus, when editing, you have to download or cache the files in LumaFusion so that you're able to use them. If you have Wi-Fi access, you can easily send your media from your phone to the Photos app on your iPad. Airdrop lets you quickly transfer files between iPhones, iPads, and Macs without using cellular data. Airdrop uses Bluetooth to broadcast and discover and negotiate a link or a connection, and point-to-point Wi-Fi to transfer the information or file, meaning you have to be near to the device you're trying to send it to, and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi need to be on both devices. Now, before airdropping any files such as a photo or video, we want to preserve the settings so that we get the best quality that we can. This will help it when, for example, if you shoot video in cinematic mode, if you transfer your video over from your iPhone to the iPad, for example, if you don't do this, it won't have the information that it will need. Let's say later on you want to change cinematic mode and you want to change the f-stop level or something, or portrait mode on photos. If you don't turn this on, this will just render this picture without that information when you airdrop it. So to do that, select the files you want to move with airdrop, and then at the top you'll see there is options. Click on that and select all photos data, and then select done. And this will allow you to transfer all the options that you did, like portrait mode for pictures or cinema mode for videos, and that'll transfer with the files. Alright, so we are going to move some files from our iPhone over to an iPad in this case. You can also use them to go between a Mac, an iPhone, and an iPad. Any iOS device, basically. Okay, so the first thing to remember is that you have to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on. You don't need cellular data. So what we'll do is just go to the top right with your finger and drag down so this control panel comes up. Same on the iPad. And we're going to make sure that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are on. You can see they were on here. So I'm going to turn them on. They go blue. I'll do the same on my iPad because it needs both of these devices to be able to transfer data. You can see we're in airplane mode on both devices, so it's not going to use cellular data. Now let's set this up here on the iPad. If we click on this little airdrop icon once, you can see it's set to receiving off. On the iPhone, what you're going to do is press and hold in the middle of this square and it will expand, and we see airdrop receiving is off also. So that's good. That's where we should start and end. There's some options here called everyone and contacts only. We don't want to choose everyone normally, because if you're especially in a public area, anybody on airdrop near you could potentially send you an unwanted file. So what we're going to do is make sure we're on contacts only and contacts only. So again, if we just click on these, we can see that it's on contacts only. So only people in my contacts list will be able to send me stuff on airdrop, or I can send them stuff on airdrop in my group. So click anywhere to get out of here. And now we want to go and we want to choose some files to send over from our iPhone to the iPad. So we're going to click on our library. Now if you wanted to choose a lot of files, you can just simply click on the select once and then just lightly drag your finger over the files that you would like to select. Now I don't want all that, so I'm going to press cancel. I'm just going to press select once, choose this milk carton here, and then on the bottom left there's a share icon. Click on that and you can see straight away that it actually sees my iPad called William's iPad. Now I'm just going to click on that and it will be saying sending, and then automatically that picture that was on our phone is now on our iPad. It'll take a little bit of while if it's, large videos, but this is the principle. So if we go back to our library, we can see here this picture that we have now on both devices. So that's how you can use airdrop to send one picture, video, or other files, or multiple ones from one device to another. And of course you could go back the other way. Again, let's get out of here. Let's drag down from the top. Let's say we finished doing all of our pictures that we wanted or videos. Drag down again, and I'm just going to click on airdrop and say receiving off. Do the same thing on here. Airdrop, receiving off. And so now we're safe. And that's how you can use airdrop without using cellular data or any other wired information. It just drags it over through. It negotiates, as we said, through Bluetooth, and it has to be in Wi-Fi range of where your other device is. So let's now move some media from our iPhone to the external storage. As shown before, you'll need an Apple USB camera adapter. You're also going to need the USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable that comes with the external SSD drive. Connect the SSD drive with the USB Type-C connector. Connect the other side of the cable to the Apple connector or adapter. Next, use your normal iPhone power charging cable, connect it to the wall, and then connect it to the iPhone connection on the adapter. This will supply power that's needed for the adapter to work correctly. Now connect the adapter with the lightning port to your phone. You might have to give access if it's the first time you've done this, and by selecting OK, or you might get a notice saying this accessory is not supported by this phone. This might happen if you're using a third-party adapter and not one from the Apple Store itself. If this happens, the main thing to do here is to make sure that when you plug in the adapter, look at the little battery charging at the top right. If it doesn't go from white to green, then it's not going to show the external drive. And now this is something that Apple do. I know that I have a third-party one here, and it actually works on my iPhone 11 Pro, but not on my iPhone 13. So again, the difference is when you plug this in, if the little battery charger doesn't go green, it's never going to see the external storage. So let's take a look at the differences. And note here straight away that there's two types of adapter here. This one, if you look really close, has a picture of a camera on here, and there's a circular little notation for the lightning cable. This comes from Apple. This is a third-party adapter, and you'll see it has a standard USB logo and like a Thunderbolt port here. Now, on my iPhone 11, this actually works, but it won't work on this i13 Pro Max for whatever reason. So it gives us a warning. So you might play around with cables and what have you, but it's actually going to be this. This is about $13, and this is from the Apple Store, which is about $47. So if we take a look at them, they both have a USB-A type port and then a lightning port for power. And the cheaper one, the third-party one, is exactly the same. However, we'll try to connect this one up first, but it won't work. So what we're going to do, now you'll notice straight away on the third-party one, as I said, this works on the 11 Pro, but it won't work on this phone. It powers it as soon as you put the power cable in. But when I put this into my phone, the first thing you'll notice is it doesn't ever charge the charging light. It stays white. And we need that to be, as soon as you plug this in, for that to see this drive, it needs to go green. So if you wait for a little bit, it will actually come up and give you a warning saying this device is not compatible. Right, so here we can see that we have the third-party adapter. We don't have the battery light on, and then we get the warning. So we can say okay. And you'll also see then if we try to go to the Files app and go to Browse, we don't see the SSD drive. And now we're going to swap over to the Apple approved one. So we're going to plug this guy in, and we'll plug it in again now and see what we get this time. So with the Apple device in, the one from the Apple Store, you can immediately see that the battery charger comes on. And now if we go to the Files app and we browse, you can see that the T7 SSD drive shows up. So if you get any trouble connecting, it's more than likely going to be this adapter. So it might be worth just spending a bit more and getting it from the Apple Store. So when I plugged in a new Apple device, it recognized it and did an accessory update. The non-Apple one worked fine, as I said, on my iPhone 11 Pro, but didn't work, or was very intermittent on the iPhone 13 Pro Max.